Previous class we have discussed the various way of expressing the concentration of a solution by W by W, percentage V by V, percentage V by W, which is used in pharmaceutical industries, parts per billion, which is used to represent the trace quantity. The next one is mole fraction, the most used quantity, that is molarity and molality. Today we will be discussing the solubility. As we have studied in class 9, that solubility means the maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in a specific solvent at a specific temperature. It means how much maximum amount we are able to dissolve in a given liquid, in a given amount of liquid, that is its solubility. If we have a beaker having some water into it and we are only able to dissolve 5 gram of sugar into it, then we can say that the solubility of sugar in that amount of water is that much gram. That what we know, what you mean by solubility. Solubility means, let us define it. Solubility. The maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in a specific solvent at a specific temperature. Here what we see? We see that the maximum amount of solute. It means how much more and more we are able to dissolve. That maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in a specific solvent. We are discussing here the solvent is specific. It means the solubility of a solute differs when we change the solvent. To the next one, it is given a specific temperature. It means the solubility of a solute changes when we change the temperature. We have discussed that in class 9 that the dissolution of sodium chloride. It means when we are going to, if we have a saturated solution of sodium chloride, when we increase the temperature, on increasing the temperature, the molecules of water move far apart. When they move far apart, this will create somewhat more interparticle space. When the interparticle space is created by increasing temperature, that's why a saturated solution becomes unsaturated and more solute can be dissolved into it. It means this is why on increasing the temperature, a saturated solution becomes unsaturated. It means we can dissolve more solute into it. It means there is the dependency of solubility of a solute on temperature. It means what are the factors? We will discuss what are the factors on which the solubility of solute depends. That is the first one, factors affecting the solubility of solute in a solvent. The first one, nature of solute. The next one, nature of solvent. The next one, temperature and the next one we have pressure. It means what we see, these are the four factors which are going to affect the solubility. The first one is the nature of the solute, the next one is the nature of the solvent, the next one is the temperature, and the next one is the pressure. It means how these four factors are going to affect the solubility we will discuss. But in these sections, only we will discuss what? Only we will discuss two things. The first one is solubility of solid in liquid, and the next one solubility of gas in liquid. These two factors we will be discussing in this section. The first one we will discuss the solubility of solid in a liquid. The first one, the solubility of solid in liquid. The first factor we have the nature of solute and solvent. We will discuss these two factors together. Nature of solute and the solvent. What we know? We know sodium chloride, NaCl. Salt, common salt, is dissolved in water. Sodium chloride dissolved in water. But the sodium chloride is not dissolved in benzene. The next one, if we have naphthalene, anthracene, these are soluble in organic, or you can say these are soluble in benzene or carbon tetrachloride. What this dissolution of sodium chloride in water conveys, and the dissolution of naphthalene and anthracene in benzene says. They say, we have studied in class 10, that like dissolve like. What we know? Like dissolve like. What it means? Let us discuss. Like dissolve like, it means an organic solvent is soluble in an organic solute is soluble in organic solvent. It means like dissolve like, organic solute dissolved in organic solvent. The next one, an ionic solute is dissolved in polar solvent. It means ionic compounds, ionic solute dissolve in ionic solvent, and organic compound, covalent compounds dissolve in covalent solvent. That's why this sodium chloride is ionic. It dissolves in water because water is a polar solvent. Naphthalene, anthracene, these are insoluble in water. Insoluble in water because these are covalent, this one is ionic. Therefore, they are soluble in covalent solvent, that is benzene. By this, what we conclude? By this, we conclude that the first one, the organic, or we can say the covalent solute dissolve in covalent solvent. And the next one, the ionic solute dissolve in ionic solvent. This is all about the nature of the solute and the solvent. Next to that, we will be discussing that how the dissolution occurs. Let us discuss the mechanism of dissolution. If we have a beaker of water, we'll discuss the mechanism or the process of dissolution. What happens if we want to dissolve sodium chloride into this water? First of all, what is happening here? If we are going to add sodium chloride in this water, then more and more sodium chloride is dissolved into it. At the same time, the sodium chloride which is dissolved in water, it will collide with the other sodium chloride molecules in the water and it will precipitate. That process is known as crystallization. It means during this process, what is happening that when a solid solute is added to a solvent, then its concentration increases and this process is known as dissolution. What it means? First one, dissolution. When a solute is added to a solvent, then its concentration in the solution increases. Then its concentration in the solution increases. But at the same time, then its concentration in the solution increases. This process is known as dissolution. It means when we add a solute into a solvent, then the concentration of this solute increases in this solvent, and this process of increasing concentration of solute in a solvent is termed as dissolution. But at the same time, the dissolved solute will collide with each other and get separate out from the solution. The process is termed as crystallization. But at the same time, the dissolved solute collide with each other and gets separated from the solution. When they get separated from the solution, this process is termed as crystallization. Separated from the solution, this process is termed as crystallization. What we see? We see here dissolution and crystallization. It means initially the rate of dissolution is higher and the rate of crystallization is slower. Initially the rate of dissolution is higher and the crystallization is lower. That's why there is increase in the concentration of the solute in the solvent. But after a certain time, on addition of more and more solute in the solvent, the rate of dissolution decreases and the rate of crystallization increases. But after a certain time, the rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of crystallization. when the rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of crystallization, then we can see that a dynamic equilibrium is attained, and that type of solution is termed as saturated solution. It means initially the rate of dissolution is higher, and the rate of crystallization is lower, but on successive addition, on further addition, the rate of dissolution decreases, and the rate of crystallization increases. What we see here, if we add more and more sodium chloride into this solution, then on further addition of sodium chloride, the rate of dissolution decreases and the rate of crystallization increases. And at a certain condition, when temperature and pressure, it means the temperature and pressure is constant here. It means P constant and P constant. It means when temperature and pressure is constant, at certain condition when temperature and pressure is constant, then a condition is achieved when the rate of dissolution is equal to rate of crystallization. What we see here, we see that at certain condition when the temperature and pressures are constant, when at that condition we have achieved a certain condition that the rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of crystallization. When the rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of crystallization, at this condition, if the crystallization is equal to the dissolution, then the concentration of the solute in this liquid remains constant. And when the concentration of the solute in this liquid remains constant at a given temperature and pressure, then it is termed as saturated solution. Equal to the rate of crystallization, then the concentration of solute in solvent remains constant, and this type of solution is termed as saturated solution. Let us see what is the condition here. The condition, we have solute plus solvent. Solute plus solvent. What is this? This one is dissolution. It gives solution. And what is this? solvent, heat, solvent and solute, then this is known as crystallization. What we see here, when we are starting to dissolve sodium chloride into water, then at the initial condition, the concentration of sodium chloride in water increases and the process is termed as dissolution. But at the same time, the sodium chloride in the water, they begins to collide with each other. When they collide, they will separate out from the solution. The process is termed as crystallization. On further dissolution, a condition is reached, then the rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of crystallization. Then at that condition, a dynamic equilibrium is achieved and the concentration of the solute in the solvent remains constant. This type of solution is termed as saturated solution. We have expressed it by this way. We have discussed the saturated solution. That when dynamic equilibrium is attained, then the amount of solute in the solvent remains constant at a given temperature and pressure. That is also known as its solubility. To the next, what we have discussed, that when dynamic equilibrium is attained, then the amount of solute in the solvent, remains constant at given temperature and pressure. That is also known as solubility. We also know when we increase the temperature, on increasing temperature, the interparticle space increases. When interparticle space increases, then more and more solute can be dissolved into it, and that solution is termed as unsaturated solution. So the next, what is unsaturated solution? A solution